Right, this is a short video on how we have used, or how I've used Google Classroom in the electrical department to track students' work, to also enable students to submit work, part of the blended learning package that we have at Trafford College. Also how we can utilise Google and Google accounts to enable us to receive emails, send messages out to students, etc. I found it very useful this year with my students, and I use it over a number of groups, which I'll demonstrate in a couple of minutes, and what sort of capabilities it does have with it being a cloud-based system. So first thing we need to do is log into the system, and once you've set up onto a Google Chrome account, what you'll do is you get a little tab that comes up like this, and you will need to input a password. I suggest it's a password that you do remember, and you are part of the college network when you've got this password running.
And what does that log you into, John? Have you just logged into Google Classroom?
I've basically logged into all of Google under one account. So if I go to this point up here, I've got my mail, calendars, drives, and various other systems that I use as well that's in there, as well as my photos, everything else. You can even go on to even more from Google and put extra apps in there. It's a bit like an app-based system. So again, just to show you that about going onto even more of Google. Again, what I've also got on here is my drive. So looking at this, I've got various systems in my drive. This is a backup copy of the whole drive that I've got, and as you can see here, all the stuff that I use in the classrooms are in various folders with the different topics and different stuff that we use, you know, to assess students. So it just depends what I want to pick up from there. These particular ones that have got the lines on are a Google Doc, and this is Word document format. And
they're resources that's been pulled in.
Yes.
Pulled in from the Google cloud-based drive.
Well, it's from any drive. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Into Classroom.
Yeah, into the actual drive. We're just in the drive at this moment. We're not actually in the classroom. I'll demonstrate that in a second. So, showing you the classroom area. These are the various classes that I've got on the go at the moment, and I'm going to concentrate on this level 3 evening group to give you a better idea of some of the assignments and everything else that we do. So once you've set one of these classrooms up, again I'll demonstrate that in fact I'll do it now. I'll show you how to set a classroom up. To set a classroom up, you go up to this symbol here, which is a plus, and create a class. You click on create a class and give it a name. So if I just put test class 1, and the section, say that again, that's electrical or whatever you want to call it, and just click on create. That will then create a full classroom with its own drive and everything in the background. So that's now the actual classroom set up. Right. To invite students, what you do is you click on student, click on invite, and then type a student's name in. So I'm going to look for a student called Will Leng. There he is. So if I click on Will, and then I can go to another student. So we'll see if anybody's called Ball. So there's Colin, or we'll call Scott Ball there and add him. As you can see, they're going in at the bottom here, and you just go through all your students within that class and invite them at that stage. If you don't want to invite them, you just uncheck them or click the X button and you can get rid of them.
Can you import a whole class at a time?
Not at a time, one by one.
Right.
Yeah, but we're looking, both me and Dave are looking at the ability to be able to automatically populate classrooms via the Pro solution system. So we were looking at that at the time. Yeah. You can also use a student number. So this could be any, I don't think it is a student. Oh, actually it's finding students. So you can see there, they've all got their login as their student number at my.trafford.ac.uk. So just by typing some of the student number in, you can actually then find them that way as well. So you don't necessarily need a name. That's what I do. I get my register up, I can see the student numbers, and I just type the student numbers in, and it comes up with the student. Right. It's a lot simpler. Yeah. So again, once you've invited them, what happens then is they drop down into this box here of the different students that you've got on the course. Yeah. And then what they do is they receive an email. So I'll just go up to here on my Google Mail accounts here. Again, if I want to find anything, I always go to these boxes, and I can click into my mail account then. You all get a mail account as you sign into that first Google page. You don't have to set any of this up, it's automatically done from when you first sign in. So what the student will get is an invitation through here to actually log into the classroom, and I don't actually have one in here because it's a while since I've been in to set anybody up. Well, they will receive an invitation saying join this class. You click on the link and it automatically enrolls them into that class at that point, and then they get access. So if I come out of my mail and just go back into, in fact, go back into classroom. If you can't find classroom in here, just type in classroom and hit enter, and it'll come up at the top there as Google Classroom. As soon as you click in Google Classroom, it'll drag you in there anyway. Okay. So it doesn't find the website, it just knows that you want to go into Classroom. If I take the level 3 evening group.
So this is a live class then? This is a real class?
This is a live classroom that I've got on the go at the moment. These are all adult students. Yeah. If you go down here, this is what it looks like once they've come into the classroom. Once they've signed in, it's no longer, it's like shaded out if they haven't signed in. You can also send them a mail invitation. You can click on them all and send them the mail because your actions are up here, so you can either remove them, email them, or mute them. Muting means they can't do any work on there, so you can stop them from working on the classroom. It's really, really handy that when you're in a class where somebody's posting silly comments on it, because this here, it says students can post comments. What I do with the full-timers is only teachers can post.
And where do they post?
They can just literally on anything start posting comments, and it comes up on your screen.
Directly to like a chat system?
Yeah, like a chat system. Yeah. So I'll turn that off for the full timers. With the part timers, I don't really have that issue, so I just leave that one unchecked. If you've got a student coming in and you haven't invited him into the classroom, he can type in this class code and join a class from outside via the classroom route. So there's no reason why. And as soon as he joins that class and he's logged in on his my.trafford account, it will automatically add into that class as well. Right. So there's a couple of ways that you can get into it. So have a look at the actual stream itself, and I'll go back because, like I said, these are all live at this moment in time, and I'll go back to assignment 7 to 12. So I'm going back to questions 1 to 6, 304 assignment.
Yeah.
On this one then, is you've got 20 students with hang on a sec. So this is a live class now with a particular assignment that they have had to do. This is an actual level 3 assignment that they've done. Each one of the students, I've given a copy of this to them, and I'll show you in a second or two how we can do that in the actual classroom. I'll set up a dummy assignment in there. Now each one of these students has their own. You can see how it's got their own names on and everything else. This is done automatically. You don't have to do that. Once you give them an assignment, the system automatically assigns their name to that particular assignment as well as puts it in your classroom. So if I click on Austin's here and open that assignment up, it'll show me the assignment and any marking that I've done on it.
Right.
And again, I'm going to demonstrate the marking side as well at the same time. So anything that I do on there or write on there is it will come up in this side box here,
right,
telling you what I've added into it. And if you scroll down,
so is that all his work then?
This is his actual work that he's done, and I've gone through this marking again. It's a resubmission that he's done, Austin. So again, what I usually do is initial it, put the date on when I've done it. This is for my tracking because I tend to just print these straight off as I do them. Now then, how I mark it is I go into editing mode here at the top, and I use suggesting. So when you suggest, what it does is it gives you a green tab. Now anything that I write on this at this point will put up in green. So if I click on test and just come off there, as you can see, it comes up in green. I don't have to hit save at any time on this. It's automatically saving it in the drive. So that was just seconds ago that it actually saved that. If I come out of that, just click off it and go back in it again, whatever I've wrote in there is again automatically saved, and it will come up in green, that showing me that it was me that amended it at the time. If I want to see what that student's done, I'm just going to get rid of that because, like I said, it's a proper assignment. I have printed this off, so it's already in my portfolio on March, so there's no issue with that. If I go and see all changes in Drive saved, I then get a revision history which gives me a date, a time, and everything else. Now this is brilliant when you're in class. But say for instance I'm in class today, yeah, 13:33, and I want to go back and see what a student did 5 minutes ago. All I do is I click on his submission from 5 minutes ago, and it will come back on that. So this is on the 17th, when he did it on the 17th, and you can see the various things that needed to go on there. If I go back to the 10th of November, when I did his previous version, you can see that submission one. You can see where I've amended things, yeah, and it will also come up with the name of who suggested at that point as well. So when you're tracking marking, or when they've progressed through it, so you can see where doing the spell checks and everything else. So you can see there, you know, please amendment, see feedback, resubmit, said amendments completed. Go back to the one that I've done today, and there's his submission 2, all sorted out. If I need to at any time print that off to put in his portfolio, because what I tend to do is send me a submission 1, I'll mark it, print it off, put it in the portfolio. Submission 2, mark it, print that off, put it behind or on top of the first submission, so it shows progress.
You don't need to print them off though, I take it.
No, this is only because I was with portfolio based assessments,
right.
so I'm taking it off the system and putting it into a portfolio.
But you could leave it all electronically.
Yeah, you can, yeah, and this remains in there as well, so if that portfolio went missing tomorrow, I've still got it, and I can pull that and print it off at any time. I can go back in time and print that off. I don't lose anything, it's all saved in the drive.
If that learner was working on that as we speak, would you see what he's
doing?
As
it is now. So if he signed on here now, what would happen is there'd be a little box comes up here, and you can actually see him moving across the cursors in here and what he's typing in.
Right.
At the same time, what I can do is actually type back to him on the document,
right.
and he sees it automatically as well. Now he could be anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter where he is.
Yeah.
I have used it with students where they've been at home sick, and I've said, no, I need you to finish this. Got one of my other students to ring them. They've logged in, and the students can actually see it on the smart board, them actually working on that document.
Wow.
Which it scares them a little bit, because I'm not going to say a word, but it was MI5 or whatever it was mentioned to me at the time. Do you know what I mean? But again, the students can see that you're actually monitoring. It'd be nice if one of my students said, I'll just check something here, because sometimes I've got one of my students that's quite regular for coming in at 9. It would not surprise me if he's already on his to be good if it does, actually. It'll work out nice and tidy, this, if he's on there. So I'll just check. I wonder if Spencer's in. He might be, I don't know. No, I thought he might be in the library. But again, that's Spencer's submission there. Spencer struggles, yeah, he does struggle. So again, I have to give him quite a bit of feedback when he's doing any of these submissions. Yeah, just give him a bit of direction. Again, I always say, you're not far off, mate. You know what I mean? Rather than just going, it's a load of rubbish this, and you know, because you find you get better with positive feedback, don't you, off students?
Indeed,
so again, just to show on here, I haven't put 100% on here, and the reason why is these have been returned back to them because they've had amendments to put on, so they're on a submission 1 or a submission 2.
Right.
Chris Purdy here, I'll just check Chris's, because I think his is 100%, because I've marked his off. Yeah, it is. I'll see if there's anybody else that's resubmitted. Zahid's been and resubmitted. Again, I can find out when he actually did that. So I'll check what he's done. It was last edited 2 hours ago by Zahid. I can see the new changes. If I just click on this tab now, it'll now show me exactly what he's done.
Right.
So you can see where he's deleted that out,
yeah,
and he's resubmitted that back in there. So where marking's concerned, you know, when you're looking and seeing, well, what exactly has that student done, you can see it straight away. If I go to full history again here at the side, I can see when he did that. He did it 11:23 today. Before that was the 22nd of March when I actually marked it. So there's my marking, there's his resubmission.
Great.
And again, I'll mark that up later today, because they're actually in with me tonight, these, so I can see whereabouts he's going from. Again, if you're using you know, your model answers and everything else, you can soon mark it up. It's pretty quick.
Right.
But again, anything you do, it's never ever deleted on there, and you can see the progress coming through as they come through. Right, to show you how to set up maybe an announcement on it first. So this little bit here, obviously these are teachers that are on. I've invited Dave and John Tilley now because they're going to take over this class from me to be actual teachers, but you can have as many teachers as you want inside a classroom. The person that sets the classroom up is the only one that can delete that class. The other teachers can put stuff in and take stuff away, but they can't delete the class. So if I wanted to set up, say, an announcement for the class for tonight, go on this tab here at the bottom and it says create announcement, and you can put in there, I'm going to share with the class yeah, I'm in tonight, so I'll turn up. I can put in things like files if I want to share a file with them. I can put in a file directly off my drive. This is a good option though, if you want to do a YouTube account. So let's say, I don't know, Ohm's Law. If I type in Ohm's Law on there, what it'll do is search YouTube, presentation on Ohm's Law, and we'll add it.
Wow.
That's how quick it is.
Oh,
So now every single student in that class, I haven't posted it yet, can actually see that.
Yeah.
If I wanted to add a file to it, put it in there. I can go either drag a file off my computer. To do that, it's a simple matter of just minimising the screen and drag and dropping whatever from your computer into there. Or I can go to my drive. So if I say, for instance, workshop circuits, and add that in, I've now added a lamination drawing of the workshop circuits for the level 2 course, or level 3, don't matter what level you're on realistically, but straight away they can see that. I can add a direct link from the outside world, so if I want to link something in there, or a file or anything, it might be web link, Excel files, whatever it may be. And then once I've done that, click on post, and as soon as I do that, every single student in that class has now got that in their account.
Right.
So when they log into Classroom, they can actually see it.
It's very quick, isn't it?
Yeah. If I want to add a class comment, you just click on there, add your little bit of pieces on there, post it again, and it will do it. If you want to get rid of it, delete, and it'll ask you, do you really want to delete that comment? If you want to get rid of the announcement, and now I will have students ringing me up in the next half an hour going, what was that announcement you put on? Because it'll hit their phones, ping on their phones to tell them they've got an announcement on the Classroom, because they're all logged in via their phones as well. And then they'll be going, what was it, John? So, and I get this all the time, especially from the evening group, so I'll just delete that announcement, gone.
Right.
If I want to add an assignment, I create assignment, give it a title, so 303 assignment, whatever it may be. Instructions, this is what you need to do with it. When's it due in? So you can click on there and say, right, I want it in 3 weeks time, or whatever it is, 22nd of April. I can then go to the file, and I'll do one that I typically do myself. Inside my drive, I've got everything that I need for all assignments. So I've got my 304 assignment folder there. Go into 304 task A. I've got questions 1 to 6. Add that. That gives me questions 1 to 6 on there, so the students can read that questions. They can view this file. So if I want to put another file in there, again, go into my drive, go into my 304 assignment folder, task A folder again, and what I've also got there is submission documents. So I'll put my 1 to 6 submission document and add that in. And what I will do with the submission document, I will make a copy for each student. As soon as I've done that, again, it's saving it all the time. Say for instance somebody starts mithering me at my desk, can you just show me this, John, and all the rest of it? Well, that's not a problem, I'll just go to that and click it off it. I've not lost it, it's there. So all I need to do is click on that and assign it. It'll ask me again, do I want to assign that to the group? That will then click on and give them that assignment. So now the students, each student will get a copy of that. That will be on there for them to read the questions. And what I advise them to do is open that one up, so they get the tab here at the top of the screen, so they can see the questions. And then what I'll do is go back into the classroom, and I'll also get them to open that one up as well.
Right.
So that's their submission document. Again, it tells you here at the top, so you know which one you're working from. So they read the question, write the answer.
Can you copy and paste?
You can. It's dead easy to copy and paste. I usually use CTRL and C. So CTRL C on the keyboard, CTRL V drops the question in there as well. Again, it's saving this all the time, so I don't need to hit save at any time. So we'll get rid of that.
How have you found the learners have taken to it then?
They love it.
Yeah.
They do. They do. So at very first, they'll be, oh, it's too much like hard work, this. But I mean, one of my students, Nathaniel, off the evening group, he really, really didn't want to do it. He didn't. But now he's the one that's singing its praises. He said, I'd be lost without it now. He said, I don't have to search for anything. I know where it all is. It's all there. So he's not rooting through his bag for bits of paper and all the rest of it. And it also gives them the ability, especially being on the classroom, if you want to find something out, there's Google. You've one tab away. So you can find stuff out, straight back in, and do what you need to do with that. The other thing as well, what happens with this is, if I go back to my drive now, what I will have inside my drive is a classroom folder. So I'll just go back here, and that folder down there at the bottom automatically gets populated. I've not put that in, Google puts that in for you as you set classrooms up. So if you click into that classroom area, what you've got now is all the classrooms that are on the system. So there's the one that we did a minute ago. There's nothing in that because we know that. But if I go now to my level 3 part-time class, there it is, the evening group, and double click on that. I've just set an assignment up in there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Just a minute ago. So that assignment now will be in here somewhere. I should have put a colour on it.
Can you sort by last modified?
Yes, you can, which is here at the side here. So that's it.
It's at the top one.
Yeah, so that's it there. So if I click in there, you'll see there's a couple there. All 3 of 5 questions. They must have already started looking at it. They must already be on the system somewhere because
that's only a couple of minutes.
1344. So again, you can see them as they're actually looking at it. So they must be going, "What's he doing, Wrigley?" You know what I mean?
Did you open that up then? Was that their? Have they started working on that?
No, they're looking at it, going, "What's he doing? I better delete it."
If you go back to it, can you see them on? Are they in that document now?
They should be. Let's have a quick look. So I'm not done. So was it Shahid? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, he's not opened it.
Right. Okay.
He's not opened it. He must be on the system, but he's not actually opened it.
Okay.
Let's click in here. Let's see what he's doing. If he is on it or not. He'll come up here if he is. 3 minutes ago.
Right.
He was on it.
He has opened. He's opened it.
He's opened it, yeah, just to see what I'm doing.
Right.
This is what they do. He will ask me about it later on, but again, what I'll do is I don't want to start confusing them because they've enough to do, to be honest with you, with the stuff that they're doing already. Yeah. So I've got rid of that now. So again,
can you message that learner through the system?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
How would you
let's go to students. So Shahid. Email. I'll just put that down there, see if it can send it to him. Now, what he should do is he should reply back to me. You can, if he's actually working on the document, you can actually message him whilst he's on the document.
Right.
Because that's what I'll tend to do as well. If they're actually working on a document at the time, especially with level 3 full timers, when they're working on it, I'll message them if they're messing about. I'll just send them a message and it comes up on the screen like our in prayer or system.
Right, real time.
Real time, yeah.
Just to ask you, John, what's been the biggest benefits then in terms of you using this with the class and electrical installation?
I would say the ILT development of the class itself, that's the biggest benefit because they've not used anything like this before. And for me personally, the amount of time it saves me is unreal. I don't need to print anything off. Yeah, my printing bill should realistically be zero because I use this all the time.
Yeah.
But it isn't. I still give them handouts and stuff like that because you've got to have a bit of differentiation on you, you know what I mean? So you can't just rely on that all the time.
Yeah.
Where students are having to work from home and homework submissions, again, I can track and monitor them. If they're off sick and I can get them on a computer from home, they can still work in the classroom. The only thing I haven't managed to experiment with is live feeds. Now that we can use as Hangouts on this. You've seen Hangouts on Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
You can use that. That can be on in the background. They can be on one of the Hangouts. If I just get rid of that tab there, go to a new tab and click on this bit here, you've got various things called, you know, Hangouts there that you can click on. Again, that can be running in the background. You can voice message people and everything else. You can tell I've not been on it for a while. But you can video call, phone call, or message, and you can have all your lists of people that are up here on here as well at the side. So you know you can have various contacts. So if you had the group as a contact on Google Handouts, you could have somebody there in the background working at the same time. If you can video yourself and record it, I mean, me and Dawn looked into stuff that they're going to implement this year to be able to enable you to do recordings within the classroom whilst you're teaching, which gives you the ability to go on Hangouts if it's live on the system.
Right, so you can run a live class through a Hangout then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Without a doubt. You don't have to, you know, I know it's sort of a lot of people will be scared by that, and you know it's going to get rid of people, but you still need lecturers to be able to deliver these Hangouts. Whether you have it in front of a class of 24 people or 240 people, doesn't matter, does it? It's the same thing, and that's the beauty of this sort of thing, especially for electrical, for apprentices. If apprentices are on site and they need to be showing you something, you know, we've got the one file system and all the rest of it. I know there's various bits and pieces that will work the same way as that, but again, if you had the one centralised bit of kit where they can log in via their phones, because again, I use my phone with this. Everything I've got on here, I've got on my phone, so I can be sat on the train on the way out of it on my way to work, type in and go, oh, actually I forgot to put that assignment on that they need to on at 9 o'clock this morning. So I can go click, 3 or 4 clicks, the assignment's been set on the system and it's done. So no longer stressing about getting into the college and on my own personal computer to do it.
Very good.
So
have you used it with the full-time learners as well?
Full-timers, I'll show you the full-time. Just come out of there, just come out of that test one.
Is there any difference in the uptake or how they've dealt with it? Or
not really, no. At first, yes, just the same as the evening group was. They were very much the same as the evening group, realistically. Let's just go in classroom again here. There is an ability to be able to put, you know, at the bottom of your screen here, the actual app for it. There's a way of doing it, so you don't have to keep doing like I've just done. Full-time level 3, this is Dave's group. Again, as you can see, there's the teachers that are on the top. We'll look at different assignments that they've got to do. Take off sheets. I'll show you a typical Excel file type system for Google. It's called Sheets. It isn't actually Excel, but it works exactly the same way as Excel. So if I click on columns, that's an Excel file. Has all the functionality of an Excel file. You can pop different drawings in here at the top, which will drop in all the different symbols that they've got. This is a take-off sheet for 3 drawings: ground floor, first floor and workshop. Distribution board circuits, they're actual scale drawings that are on there, and they have to count up the amount of sockets and everything else. And what I've done is I've given this sheet to use, and it auto totals at the bottom for an order, so they have to put in for an order. So that's an Excel type document. Very, very easy to use. If you can use Excel, you can use this. Another one that they've had to do, I'll just go back on here again. I only ever use the arrow keys here at the sides, or I use these. I don't bother get unused to using that, because as soon as you click that, it clicks everything off, turns everything off. But you don't lose it, you know, if you're working with it. Here's some drawings that they've done. So I'll show you Jack Young's, because it's quite a good drawing, this, and again, this is done on Google Classroom itself. So he's got to produce a critical path network. So that's his critical path network. So you can see there's a bit of, you know, he's actually done a good job. He's used the various systems that are in there to be able to make it all nice and flowing and everything else.
So the full timers are taken through it well then?
Yeah, quite well, to be honest with you. I mean, there is there is very basic ones where this guy's here, very, very basic, but he's hit the criteria. You know, it's what we want. It's not a bad. I've always, you know, not a bad attempt, but could have been a bit better. Again, with this here, this is the beauty of this as well. If they haven't actually done it, so these three guys here have not done it.
Right.
Not even attempted it yet. So I can click on that, click on mail. It'll automatically go into the mailbox. It'll email these three students. I can put, why have you not done? Question, whatever. Get it done now or else, blah, 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 whatever it may be. And send that to them directly. So it's as simple as that. But again, I'm only using these tabs at the top. I'm not having to go, you know, miles around the houses to try and find anything that I need to find. If we're looking at PowerPoints, again, I've asked them now, this is directive study. Their next one is 308 that they've got to do, which is the environmental unit. So I've put this particular PowerPoint on here. These are known as slides on these, and they work exactly the same as a PowerPoint presentation, but they're just a little bit better laid out. So that particular one is on all environmental technology systems. So again, as directive study for their own self-study. Told them 20 minutes a night, 3 times a week. Just do a few of them. Check your knowledge on there. This particular one is you're able to. It's the one that I use for the environmental awareness course. So there you go, a little knowledge check there. See if you can do it. You know what I mean? Submit that back to me. I'll bring it back in next lesson. I want you to do knowledge check 1, knowledge check 2, a solar thermal or whatever it may be, and they can submit that back. I encourage them, rather than submitting it on a piece of paper, is to go into their drives, so they can go into their particular Google Drive. So I'll click on that tab again just to bring my drive back up. And if they want to do a document, they click on New, Google Doc, gives them an actual document, title it once it comes up. Wrigley's homework. They can type in whatever they need to type in there. Again, it doesn't matter that I come out of that document, it will automatically save it in their particular drive that they've got. Say for instance then, I'll go to the full-time level 3s. On this here, they add a submission on there, because again, I'm in as a teacher now, not as a student. When they open it, they can actually add a document out of their drive into it. So if they've got homework on there, or I might have put an announcement, right, do the homework on this, they can then add that as their submission and just submit it back to me.
Yeah.
Or they can share it with me. It's very, very easy to share a document. If I go back into my drive, Wrigley's homework, you see this little man here that's at the top?
Yeah.
So you click on there and it'll load up this, and if I type in, see how it's finding me? Yeah, click on that and I can edit it and send it. What it will actually do is it shares it with me, so I can see that within my drive as well. So if they're doing collaborative working, they can actually share documents that's in there as well. So there's a lot of functionality with this, and again, depending on how far you want to take it with each one of your groups. This year I've experimented with it, and I found it really, really, really useful as a teacher.
You've used it with the Chromebooks as well, haven't you?
I've used it with Chromebooks. I've used it, as you can see now, on our standard PCs. You can use it on Kindles, iPhones, iPads. Doesn't matter what it is, Android devices. It'll all work. It's all compatible. There are still a few teething problems with it, which you're going to get with anything. One of the teething problems is if you go from a Word document into Google Docs, sometimes you get a problem with that. If I open this particular document up here, what it will do is it'll come up in Word format, and it shows you that with this W here at the top. If I then go on to open with Google Docs, what it will do is automatically generate a Google Doc for me. So it's just literally one click, and it will now redo that in a Google document. Now Google Docs works better on the classroom because it's designed for Google Docs, not necessarily Word, but they have compatibility issues still in the background, but they're working through it. Now if I come out of that and just come out of that document there, or use that close symbol there. If you look now, what I've got now is the Word document automatically saved.
Right.
So if I want to submit that now to the classroom, I can do under a Word into a Google Doc to save the students from doing it. So it's much easier if I do it first rather than getting the students to do it. So any Word documents I have, all I'll do is just literally convert them into a Google Doc and then put them on the classroom, so it makes life easy for the student.
Yeah.
It might seem like a bit of a long-winded thing, but it does work better.
Great.
I'll show you how easy it is to put a document in. Is there anything on here that's not too... Yeah, I'll borrow that logo off you.
Yeah.
Link. That's it.
That's clever, isn't it? So
That's how fast it
right.
is.
I just put that picture into there.
Yeah, that's it now.
From there now.
That's it.
Open it up from the track. So you could now, wow, that's quick, isn't it? So you can now share that with everyone.
I could share that, and everybody's got the Trafford College logo.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make an instant thing there where you want to make an announcement to the class, remember when I was in the bit where you could download either a file or anything, it said drag and drop a file to here when we're in the classroom? Same script, you could pull it straight off your desktop, drop it into there, make an announcement across the college or across a group, giving them something to do or whatever it may be. Same thing again, if you don't, I'll just move that over here, if you click on the X there, if I no longer want that, all I need to do is bin it, and it's gone. I can undo it if I want to, but that won't stay there very long.
Right.
You know, if I've made the mistake, oh, it's there, right, click, straight away undo it, and it'll pull it back in immediately. But if you think about it, an hour later, it's gone. So.
Right, okay.
But again, it won't be gone from where you've dragged it. Do you know what I mean? So it's still there. All you've done is copy it.
Is there any other aspects, John, that you think have been worked really well with the learners?
Just the ease of it, really. I think you make things that can be done within 3 clicks with any student, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
If you've got to start hunting through drives and going into files, and no, forget it. They've lost interest. They're a 3-click society these days. Everything's got to be instant. Where an iPhone works, it's got to be, and that's the beauty of this. I mean, there will be other systems out there that work very, very similar to Google, but as from a teacher's point of view, the ease of being able to do anything is 100% better. I find. I have multiple accounts on Google. You get 15 gig of drive space, which is ample. So I have my own personal stuff on a Wrigley 6 account, that's what it's called. I have all my college stuff, which is all my tutor stuff, within my drive. And if you look here, I'm only using 7 gig. And I've got all the level 3s, all the level 2s, 2, 3, 5, 7, level 1s, environmentals, all sorts of stuff, including everything that anybody has ever submitted back to me in any one of these files.
Great.
So it's I find it, like I say, I find it very, very easy to use, and it's all traceable and trackable as well through there. Whoever does whatever, I'll just check to see if Shahid's sent me an email back. Not working today. Babysitting, see you tonight. Hope you're good. So as you can see there, I've not got off my backside for the last 25-30 minutes. So and I'm in contact with my students at all time.
Great.
Now remember when we set up them bits where we linked up their personal email accounts with their college accounts?
Yeah.
This can also be dragged in at the same time. So you send an email to the college email system, it will email them on this and their own personal accounts at the same time.
Right. Great. Right. Thanks for that, John. That was very useful.
No worries. Stop.